The state could spend millions of your tax dollars to pay for a perk that has virtually no oversight. The money is earmarked for certain state employees to pay for their health insurance once they retire. You would think lawmakers would want to take a look at that program, but as Fox 11 Investigates found out, lawmakers are the ones who stand to benefit from it. Robert Hornacek is here now with the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel. This is a little-known perk for state legislators that adds up to millions of dollars in potential benefits, and it all has to do with sick time. Even though legislators control their own schedules, basically report their own time, they still receive paid sick days. If they don't use those days, they roll over and can eventually be used to pay for health insurance after they retire. The Wisconsin legislature, home to what may be some of the healthiest politicians around. Some state lawmakers who've been in office for 20, 30, even 40 years have never taken a sick day. As a result, they've accumulated benefits worth tens of thousands of your tax dollars that can be used to buy health insurance after they retire. Take State Senator Mike Ellis of Neenah. He was elected to the legislature in 1970 and has never taken a sick day. Under the state's sick leave program, Ellis has earned more than $136,000 he can use to buy health insurance. There's nothing that says the lawmakers have to spend the money, but it is set aside for them to use if they choose to use it. In 2007, Ellis sponsored legislation to end the perk. So did Ellis's colleague, State Senator Rob Coles.
When I first heard about this several years ago, I was sort of shocked that it even existed.
Coles has also never called in sick. He has a benefit worth more than $103,000 that he can use for health insurance when he retires. You've been in the legislature since 1982?
Sworn in January of '83.
And in that time, you've never claimed a sick day?
No, I have not.
Why not?
I'm not sure that this plan actually interacts with that, but I've always felt that we're on salary and we're supposed to be there, and there's been times when I've been ill and I just gutted it out, quite frankly. So I mean, there have been a few times when I probably should have been in bed, but I went through with it anyhow.
Do you think that speaks to the fact that this benefit isn't needed? Do you know what I mean?
It might.
Richard Perrins is the president of the Brown County Taxpayers Association. He understands why regular state workers get sick leave, but not politicians who set their own schedule and report their own sick time.
I think the general public is just, when they see these kinds of numbers, their backs, the hair on their neck's going to stand up and go, why do they get this at all? Why should they be allowed to accumulate such a large amount of money?
Coming up tonight on Fox 11 News at 9, we'll have more reaction from state lawmakers, and we're also going to take a look at how much this program is actually costing taxpayers.
Interesting. So how much sick time do they get?
Well, they get about 7 hours every month, and that's not as much as a regular state employee, but it does add up. Over the course of a year, lawmakers will receive about 85 hours of sick time, and some people question why. They say, lawmakers shouldn't get any of this because, look, they don't get vacation time. They basically control their own schedules and take off time as needed. But when it comes to sick time, they get this benefit, and they don't have to report it really. They report it to the clerk's office and to Human Resources, but there's really no approval process and there's no review of that sick time.
And what are some of the lawmakers saying about the program?
Well, let me tell you, I got a lot of different reactions when I contacted state legislators. Some wanted absolutely nothing to do with this story. Others insisted this just really isn't an issue right now. There are more important things going on. Most of the legislators say they didn't really know about this benefit at all until a few years ago. Others said now that they know about it, they certainly don't plan to use it once they leave office. But the majority of the lawmakers I spoke with for this story do agree that the program needs to be looked at again.
All right. Thanks, Robert.